Hi, and welcome to Ginger English. I'm Sarah, joined as always by Marcus, and today we have an A1 level podcast for you. Okay, so before we start, I need to ask you something. Have you ever waited for someone? Maybe 1 hour, maybe one day? But what about 3 days? Outside, in the heat, without food, without water, just waiting. That is our story today. And the one who waited was not a person, it was a dog. His name was Duke. And what happened next? I still can't believe it. It is a story about love, about family, about a second chance. So stay with us. You will not be sorry. Let me tell you about Jack. Jack is 78 years old. He lives in a small town in Florida. The town is called Millbrook. It is a quiet place, not many people, not many cars, just small houses, green trees, and a lot of sunshine. Jack lives alone. He has a small house with a red door. He has a garden. He has a blue chair on the porch. And he has Duke. Duke is his dog. Duke is big. Duke is brown. Duke has soft eyes and a long tail. Every morning, Jack and Duke go for a walk. Every evening, they sit on the porch together. Jack drinks his coffee. Duke sleeps at his feet. They do this every day. For 9 years. 9 years together. Jack always says, Duke is not just a dog. Duke is my family. And I think Duke knows that too. But one morning, something changes. Jack does not wake up early. He does not make coffee. He does not open the red door. Duke waits 1 hour, 2 hours. He goes to the door. He scratches it. Nothing. He sits down. He waits more. The neighbors, a young couple, Tom and Lisa, they see Duke outside. This is not normal. Duke is always with Jack. Lisa knocks on the door. No answer. Tom calls 911. The ambulance comes fast. They find Jack on the floor. He is alive, but he needs help. He needs the hospital now. The paramedics take Jack. The door closes. And Duke just stands there. He looks at the ambulance. It drives away. And Duke sits down right there at the red door. And he waits. That image, a big brown dog sitting alone at a red door, it stays with me. Duke does not run away. He does not go to the neighbors, he just waits. Because in his world, Jack always comes back. Jack always opens the door. So Duke waits. Day 1. The sun is hot. Lisa brings Duke water and some food. He eats a little, but he does not move from the door. Night comes. It is warm in Florida. Duke sleeps on the porch, right there, in front of the red door. Day 2. The same. More water. More food from the neighbors. People on the street stop and look at Duke. They feel sad. They feel something. One woman, her name is Carol, she takes a photo. Duke is sitting. His eyes are looking at the door. It is a beautiful photo and a very sad one. Carol posts it on Facebook. She writes, "This dog is waiting for his owner. His owner is in the hospital. Please share." And people share it. A lot.
Okay, so Sarah told you about the photo. Let me tell you what happens next. Carol posts the photo on Friday morning. By Friday night, 5,000 people share it. 5,000. That is a lot for a small town like Millbrook, but it does not stop there. Saturday morning, 20,000 shares. People write comments. So many comments. Poor dog. I am crying. Someone help him. This is true love. People from Florida share it. People from Texas share it. People from New York share it. And then people from other countries. Canada, England, Australia. One photo of one dog at one red door, and the whole world stops to look. The local newspaper sees the story. Their name is the Millbrook Sun. They send a reporter. Her name is Jenny. Jenny is young. This is maybe her third or fourth story for the newspaper. She comes to Jack Street on Saturday afternoon. She sees Duke. She sits down near him. She does not touch him. She just sits. Duke looks at her. Then he looks back at the door. Jenny takes out her notebook. She talks to Tom and Lisa. She talks to Carol. She talks to other neighbors. She learns about Jack, about his garden, about his blue chair, about his 9 years with Duke. And she writes a story, a real story, not just about a dog, about a man and his dog, about love, about waiting. The story goes on the newspaper website on Sunday morning, and then everything gets very, very big. By Sunday afternoon, the story is not just in Millbrook, it is everywhere. Big news websites share it. One TV channel in Miami calls Jenny. They want to talk to her. They want to come to Millbrook. They want to film Duke. Jenny says yes. The TV crew arrives Sunday evening. They film Duke at the door. They talk to the neighbors. It is on the evening news. Millions of people watch it, and all of them think the same thing. Where is Jack's family? Does he have children? Does he have someone? Because Duke is waiting, but is there a person who will come? And that is the question everyone is asking. On Facebook, on Twitter, on the news. Where is Jack's family? The neighbors know a little. Jack has a daughter. Her name is Amy, but Amy does not live in Millbrook. She lives far away, and Tom says this quietly, like it is a secret. Jack and Amy do not talk. Not for a long time. 7 years, maybe more. Nobody knows why. Jack never talks about it. When someone asks, he just looks at his garden and says nothing. So the question is there, big and heavy. Does Amy see the news? Does she know about Duke? Does she know her father is in the hospital? Nobody knows. Not yet. But I want to tell you one more thing. On Sunday night, a woman drives to Millbrook. She parks her car near Jack's house. She sits in the car for a long time. She does not get out. She just looks at the red door. And at Duke. Duke looks at her car. He does not move. He does not bark. He just looks. Then the woman starts the car again, and she drives away. Tom sees this from his window. He does not know who she is, but I think you can guess. So, that woman in the car, let me tell you more about her. Her name is Amy. She is 45 years old. She lives in Atlanta, Georgia. She has a job. She has a small apartment. She has a cat. Her life is quiet, normal, but inside, it is not quiet, not for a long time. Amy and Jack, her father, they stopped talking 7 years ago. Why? It is a long story, a painful story. Amy's mother, Jack's wife, her name was Helen. Helen gets very sick. Cancer. It is bad, very bad. Amy wants to help. She wants to take Helen to a big hospital in Atlanta, better doctors, better medicine, but Jack says no. He says, Helen stays home, Helen stays in Millbrook, with me. Amy is angry, very angry. She thinks Jack is wrong. She thinks he is selfish. They fight, loud and long, and then Helen dies. At home, in Millbrook, in her bed, with Jack next to her. Amy does not come to say goodbye. She is too angry, too hurt, and after that, silence. 7 years of silence. But then she sees the photo. Duke at the red door. She is at work, Monday morning. She drinks her coffee. She opens Facebook. And there is Duke. She knows that door, that red door. She paints it with her father when she is 12 years old. She and her dad with red paint, laughing. That is a good memory, one of the last good ones. She reads the comments. She reads the newspaper story. She watches the TV video, and something moves inside her, something old. Something she puts in a box a long time ago and tries to forget. She closes her laptop. She goes back to work, but she cannot think. She cannot focus. At lunch, she sits alone. She looks at her phone. She looks at the photo again. Duke's eyes, just waiting for Jack to come back. And Amy thinks, when does she stop waiting too? When does she stop being angry? Her father is in the hospital. He is 78 years old, and she is sitting in Atlanta, doing nothing. After lunch, Amy calls her boss. She says she needs 2 days, personal days. Her boss says okay. Amy goes home. She puts some clothes in a bag. She gets in her car, and she drives. It is 6 hours from Atlanta to Millbrook. 6 hours to think. 6 hours to remember. The good things and the bad things. Her mother's laugh. Her father's garden, the fights, the silence, the red door. She arrives in Millbrook late at night. She drives to Jack Street. She parks the car, and she sees Duke. He is there, right at the door, sleeping on the porch, but when Amy's car stops, Duke wakes up. He looks at the car. Amy looks at him. She wants to get out, but her hands, they do not move. She sits there for maybe 20 minutes. Then she starts the car, and she drives to a small motel near the town. She needs one more night, just one more night to think. Tom sees her car from the window. He does not know it is Amy, but in the morning, he tells Lisa, that car was there again last night. Lisa says, maybe it is someone from his family, and Tom says, I hope so. Duke cannot wait forever. But Duke is still waiting. Day 3, still at the red door, still looking, still hoping.
Tuesday morning, Amy wakes up early in the motel. She does not sleep well. She looks at the ceiling for a long time. Then she picks up her phone. She opens the photo of Duke again, and she makes a decision. She gets up. She washes her face. She puts on her jacket, and she drives to the hospital. The hospital is not big. It is a small, clean building on the edge of town. White walls, quiet hallways. Amy parks the car. She sits for 1 minute. Then she goes inside. She walks to the front desk. She says, "I am looking for a patient. His name is Jack Miller." The woman at the desk looks at her computer. She says, "Are you family?" Amy is quiet for a second. Then she says, "Yes, I am his daughter." The woman gives her a room number, room 14. Amy walks down the hallway. Her heart is fast, very fast. She stops at the door, room 14. She can see a little through the small window. Jack is in the bed. He is sleeping. He looks small, older than she remembers. His hair is very white now. Amy puts her hand on the door and she pushes it open. The sound wakes Jack up. He opens his eyes. He looks at the door and he sees Amy. For a moment, nothing. They just look at each other. 7 years is a long time. 7 years changes a face, changes a person. Jack's eyes get wet. Amy does not move. Then Jack says, very quiet, very slow, "Amy." Just her name. Nothing more. And that one word, it breaks something open in Amy's chest. She walks to the bed. She sits in the chair next to him. She does not know what to say, so she says the only thing she can. "Hi, Dad." And Jack closes his eyes, and 2 tears go down his face. And Amy starts to cry too. They talk for a long time that morning. Not about the big things, not yet. First, the small things. How are you? What happened? How long are you here? The doctor comes in. He explains, Jack has a heart problem. Not very serious this time, but he needs to be careful. He needs rest. He needs help at home. Amy listens to everything. She asks questions, good questions. The doctor looks at her and says, "It is good that you are here." Amy nods. But inside, she thinks, I should be here. I should come a long time ago. After the doctor leaves, Jack looks at Amy and says, "How do you know I am here?" And Amy smiles a little. She takes out her phone. She shows him the photo. Duke at the red door. Jack looks at it for a long time. His face is soft, full of love. He says, "That is my boy." And then, "Is he okay?" Amy says. "He is waiting for you, Dad. He is still at the door." And Jack closes his eyes again. This time, he is smiling. Before Amy leaves the hospital that day, she stops at the nurse's station. She gives them her phone number. She says, "I am his daughter. Please call me if anything changes. I am staying in Millbrook." The nurse smiles and says, "Of course, it is really nice that you came." Amy walks out of the hospital into the Florida sunshine. She gets in her car and she drives back to Jack Street, back to the red door, back to Duke. She parks the car. This time, she gets out.
Amy gets out of the car. She walks slowly to the porch. Duke is there. He is lying down. His head is on his paws. His eyes are open. He watches her come closer. Amy stops a few feet away. She does not know dogs very well. She is a cat person, but she knows Duke. She meets him one time, maybe 8 years ago, when Duke is still a puppy, a small, silly, happy puppy. Now he is big and tired and sad. Amy sits down on the porch steps, not too close. She just sits, and Duke looks at her. For a long minute, nothing. Then Duke lifts his head. He smells the air, and slowly, very slowly, he gets up. He walks to Amy. He puts his big head on her knee, and Amy, she puts her hand on his head, and she says very quietly, "He is okay, Duke. He is coming back." Tom sees this from the window. He tells Lisa. They both watch. Lisa has tears in her eyes. Tom pretends he does not. After a few minutes, Amy knocks on Tom and Lisa's door. She introduces herself. I am Amy, Jack's daughter. Tom and Lisa, they are so happy to see her. They bring her inside, they make coffee, they tell her everything about Duke, about the photo, about the newspaper, about the TV cameras. Amy listens. She did not know all of this. She sees the photo online. Yes, but she does not know it is so big. So many people, all watching, all caring about her father, about Duke, about this little street in this little town. She feels something strange, grateful, and a little ashamed. All these people, strangers, they care more about Jack right now than his own daughter does, or did. She is here now, that is something, but she wishes she comes sooner. Lisa asks, are you going to stay? Amy thinks. Her job, her apartment, her cat, her life in Atlanta, but then she thinks about Jack, about room 14, about how small he looks in that hospital bed. She says, yes, for now, I stay. Lisa smiles big. Good. You can stay here with us. We have a spare room. Amy wants to say no, but she looks at Tom and Lisa, these kind, warm people, and she says, thank you, really, thank you. That evening, Amy sits on Jack's porch. Duke is next to her. The sun goes down, the sky is orange and pink. It is beautiful. Amy looks at the garden, Jack's garden, the tomatoes, the roses, the old lemon tree in the corner. She remembers that tree. Her mother plants it the year Amy is born. Helen always says, that tree is as old as you, Amy. When it grows, you grow. Amy looks at the tree now. It is tall, strong, still making lemons after all these years, just like Jack. Amy takes a breath. The air smells like grass and flowers, like home, a home she leaves a long time ago, but maybe, just maybe, she can find it again. She visits Jack every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She brings him small things, a book, some flowers from his garden, a black coffee from the small cafe on Main Street, his favorite. Every day Jack looks a little better, more color in his face, more light in his eyes. They talk, slowly at first, safe topics, the garden, the neighbors, the weather, but slowly, like a door that is stuck for a long time, the big things start to come out, the fights, the pain, her mother, all the years of silence. It is not easy, but they keep talking.
There is one conversation that Amy remembers most. It is Thursday evening. She is sitting next to Jack's bed. The room is quiet. The light is soft. Jack is looking at the window. Then he turns to Amy and says, I know you are angry at me about your mother. Amy does not answer right away. She looks at her hands. Then she says, I was angry for a long time. Jack nods. He says, I know, and I am sorry. I know you want to help her. I know you want the big hospital, the big doctors. Amy says, she could have more time, Dad. Jack is quiet. Then he says, maybe, maybe not. But Amy, she does not want to go. Your mother, she tells me every day, I want to be home. I want my garden. I want my bed. I want to die in my house. Amy's eyes get wet. Jack continues, I am not selfish. I am listening to her, to what she wants. Amy says nothing. A tear goes down her face, and Jack reaches out. He takes her hand, and he says, she loves you so much. She talks about you every day at the end. Every day. Amy covers her mouth with her other hand. She cries, and Jack holds her hand and says nothing more because nothing more is needed. That is the moment. That is when something changes. Not all the pain goes away. These things take time, but the wall, the big cold wall between them, it starts to come down, brick by brick. That evening, Amy calls her boss in Atlanta. She asks for 2 more weeks. Her boss says yes. She calls her neighbor and asks her to feed the cat. Her neighbor says, of course. Amy is staying in Millbrook. For now. And for the first time in 7 years, she feels like she is in the right place. Meanwhile, Duke is still outside, still at the red door. Carol takes a new photo on Wednesday. Duke is sitting next to Amy, both of them on the porch steps. Carol posts it. The caption says, an update. Jack's daughter is here. Duke is not alone anymore. People go crazy in the comments, thousands of likes, so many happy tears. Jenny from the newspaper calls Amy. She asks, "Can I write a new story about you and your dad?" Amy thinks for a second. Then she says, "Yes, but write about Duke too. He is the reason I am here." Jenny smiles on the phone. She says, "Of course, he is the hero of this story." And she is right. Think about it. One dog, one photo, one red door. And because of that, a father and daughter find each other again after 7 years. Duke does not know about Facebook. He does not know about the news. He does not know that millions of people watch him and cry. He just knows one thing. Jack is his person. And he waits. That is all. That is everything. On Friday morning, the doctor comes in and says, "Mr. Miller, you are doing well. If everything is good tomorrow, you can go home on Saturday." Jack looks at Amy. Amy looks at Jack, and they both smile. The same smile, the same eyes. Tom and Lisa come to visit that evening. They bring flowers and a card from the whole street. Jack reads the card slowly. His hands shake a little. He says, "I have good neighbors." And then, "I have a good daughter." Amy takes his hand. She does not say anything. She does not need to. Saturday morning, Amy is at the hospital early. She helps Jack get ready. She brings him his clothes, the ones from his closet at home, his blue shirt, his comfortable shoes. The nurse helps him with the paperwork. The doctor gives him a list. Rest, eat well, walk a little every day. Come back in 2 weeks. Jack listens. He nods. He is ready. Amy takes his bag. She holds his arm. And they walk out of the hospital together into the sunshine. Jack closes his eyes for a second. He feels the warm Florida air on his face. He takes a long, slow breath, and he says, "That is nice." Amy squeezes his arm. "Come on, Dad. Someone is waiting for you." She drives him home to the small house with the red door. She parks the car, and before they even get out, Duke is already there. He sees the car. He knows it. He jumps up. He starts to run in small circles on the porch. He makes a sound, not quite a bark, not quite a cry, something in between. Something like, "Finally, finally, finally." Jack opens the car door slowly. He stands up, and Duke stops. He just stands there, looking at Jack. His whole body is shaking. His tail is going so fast. Jack walks to the porch steps. He looks at Duke, and he says, "Hey, buddy, I am home." And Duke jumps on him. Not too hard, like he knows Jack is fragile, but he puts his big paws on Jack's chest and licks his face. And Jack laughs. A real laugh, a big warm laugh, the first one in a long time. Tom and Lisa hear the car. They come outside. Carol is in her garden. She sees everything. A few other neighbors come out too. They all stand on the street and watch. Some of them are smiling. Some of them are crying. Carol takes out her phone. She takes a photo. Jack, Duke, Amy next to them, in front of the red door. It is a beautiful photo. Even more beautiful than the first one. She posts it. The caption is simple. "He is home." That is all. Just 3 words. And the internet. The internet breaks. Millions of likes, millions of comments, people from every state, people from every country, all saying the same thing. "This made my day. I am crying. This is what love looks like." Amy helps Jack inside. She makes him tea. He sits in his blue chair on the porch. Duke lies at his feet. The same as always, like nothing happened. Like the last 6 days are just a bad dream. But something is different. Amy is here. She is in the garden, pulling some weeds. She does not know much about gardens. She pulls the wrong thing once, and Jack says, "Not that one. That is my tomato plant." And they both laugh. And it is easy, light, like old times, like before everything went wrong. Jack watches her from his chair. He drinks his tea. Duke sleeps. The sun is warm. The garden smells good. And Jack thinks, maybe things can be okay again. Maybe it is not too late. For him, for Amy, for all of it, maybe it is just the beginning.
So, that is the story of Duke, a dog who waits, a father who comes home, a daughter who comes back. I love this story so much, and I want to talk about why, because it is not just a story about a dog, it is a story about us, about people, about what we do when someone we love is in trouble. Duke does not think about it. He does not make a plan. He does not ask, should I wait? Or should I go? He just waits, because that is what love does. Love waits, love stays, even when it is hard, even when it is hot outside and nobody opens the door. And Amy is different. Amy thinks too much. She is angry for 7 years. 7 years is a long time to be angry. But you know what? I understand her. Pain is real. Hurt is real. When someone we love does something we think is wrong, it is hard to let go. It is hard to say, okay, I forgive you. Let us start again. For Amy, it takes a dog at a red door to make her move. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need a sign, something small and simple that says, hey, life is short. Your father is in the hospital. Go, just go. And Jack. Jack is not perfect. No person is perfect. He makes choices that hurt Amy, but he also makes choices from love. Love for Helen. He listens to his wife. He respects what she wants. Is he right? Is he wrong? I think it is not so simple. Life is not so simple. But in the end, he and Amy talk, they cry, they hold hands, and that is enough to start. You do not need to fix everything in one day, you just need to start. I think about Duke a lot after I hear this story, about how he does not give up. Day 1, day 2, day 3, he is there, at the door, every single time. And you know what? I want to be more like Duke. Not the waiting outside in the heat part. That sounds terrible, honestly, but the not giving up part, the staying part, the believing that the person you love will come back. That is something special. That is something we can all learn from a big brown dog in Florida, okay? So, that is our story for today, and we hope you enjoy it. We hope it makes you feel something. Maybe you want to call someone, a parent, a friend, someone you do not talk to for a long time. Do it. Pick up the phone, open the door, be like Amy, do not wait 7 years. And if you enjoy this podcast, please hit that like button, subscribe to Ginger English if you are not subscribed yet, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear it today. We make these stories for you. Every week, new stories, new episodes, new levels, so come back. We will be here, like Duke at the red door, always waiting for you.